Dr. Yoni Whitten here, and this week we're talking about the two muscle groups that you need to be strengthening to get a pain-free lower back. Let's get into this. Back in 2019, there was a really interesting paper published in the Journal of Musculoskeletal and Neuronal Interactions. Now, the researchers were searching for a relationship between low back pain and muscle weakness. They pooled the data from 14 different studies with over 1,800 subjects, and they found a definite correlation between lower back pain and weakness in two specific muscle groups. Those muscle groups are the hip extensors and the hip abductors. A quick lesson to make sure that everybody's on the same page with the two muscle groups that we're talking about. So when I say hip abductors, the muscles that I'm talking about sit here on the outside of the hip, and they're responsible for this motion that's pulling the leg away from the midline of the body, just like that. When I say hip extensors, the muscle group that I'm talking about sits here on the back of the hip, and it's responsible for moving the leg backward in relation to the torso. The first movement that we're going to be going over is called the reverse monster walk. It's a fantastic exercise for a couple of reasons. First, because it targets both the muscle groups that we're after, the hip abductors and the hip extensors at the exact same time, so it's very efficient. Second, this movement scales really well, so no matter what your fitness level is, you can get a ton of benefit from this motion. The only thing that you're going to need is a resistance band. I really like these cloth bands. They make it way more comfortable to perform the exercise. To perform reverse monster walks, you're going to need a little bit of space. You'll take your exercise band and you're going to slide it around both legs. When you're first starting out, it's important that the band be placed above the level of the knee, especially so if you've got any history of knee problems. Now, the alignment that you're looking for is hips over knees over ankles. So that band is pulling your knees inward, and you want to make sure to use your hip abductors to resist that inward collapse of the knees. Once you've got that set, you're going to bend your knees, push your rear end out, and engage your core stabilizers. The motion itself comes from reaching backward and out to the side just slightly, and then transitioning your weight. Reach, step through. Reach, step through. Reach, hip abduction and hip extension, same time, step through. Reach, step through. If you run out of room, just turn around, go back the same way. Reaching out and to the side, step through, out and to the side, step through, out and to the side, just like that. You'll want to continue with that slow walking motion for 20 to 60 seconds continuously. Now, if you find when you're first starting out that you get nowhere near that time and it's just way too hard, then you have the option to move the resistance band higher up on the thigh, which is going to decrease your resistance level significantly. Now, if you want to increase your resistance, well, these sets come with 3 different levels of resistance. So it's super easy to just switch out for a thicker band and increase your resistance level that way. But one of the things that I really love about this motion is that you can also scale it by moving the resistance further down on the leg and working with a longer lever there, and this makes the motion way, way, way harder. Really focusing to stay low and slow with that band in the long lever position makes it extremely effective. The second exercise that we're going to be using is a single leg bridge. The only thing that you're going to need for this is a comfortable surface to lie on. Once you've got that, just go flat on your back. Now, head should be resting comfortably. Legs are going to be out in front of you. Knees are going to be bent to 90 degrees. Feet should be very close to each other. I like to have my hands resting on my abdomen. And then from here, to initiate the movement, I like to pull the front of my feet off the floor. The balls of the feet come up. And then you're going to engage your butt muscles, squeezing your rear end as you push your hips up towards the ceiling. Now, the top position, your torso should be in line with your thighs. Then from here, I'm going to put as much weight as I possibly can down into the heel of my right foot as I slowly straighten the opposite leg. This is an isometric exercise, so you're just going to hold this position for 10 to 30 seconds. At the end of that time, you're going to bring that down, slowly come down and rest. Then we're gonna switch over to the other side. Again, pressing up, squeezing the rear end, feet are close together, balls of the feet are off the floor. I'm gonna push as much weight as I possibly can, this time into my left heel, straightening my right leg in line with the other thigh, and the glute medius and glute max is working like crazy to hold me up and make sure that I don't dip to the open side. 10 to 30 seconds, return to your starting position. One of the things that I love about the bridge is how well this movement scales. So if you struggle with that one-legged version, no problem. Just start off with a two-legged bridge. To do that, go flat down on your back, same starting position, head is comfortable, hands resting on the abdomen, knees are bent to 90 degrees, feet are close together. You're gonna lift the balls of the feet off the floor, dig the heels in, squeeze your rear end, and press up to a starting position where your torso and your thighs are in line with one another. From here, you're just gonna hold the position, still in isometric, squeezing your rear end, activating those hip extensors. That's what really matters. Start off with whatever time is feasible for you, but you wanna work up to 60 to 90 seconds in this position before you even think about going to that one-legged version. This movement also scales in the opposite direction, so even for athletes that are super fit and super strong, they can get huge benefits from the single leg bridge. All you need is to add a dumbbell. From there, you would go flat on your back. Now, I like to roll towards the dumbbell and hug it into my body, keeping my spine in neutral as I load up. From there, everything is the same, with the one exception of the hands are used to hold the weight in place. From there, you're gonna push up to your starting position, same as before. Torso in line with thighs. I'm making sure that that weight doesn't roll up on me. And I'm gonna press all my weight into my left heel, straightening that opposite leg, and I'm getting huge resistance on the glute medius and the glute max. Set that down, all the way down, hug into the body, roll onto the side, keeping everything safe. From there, people at any level can build up massive strength using this motion. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and that you'll put the information to good use. If you want more information about those innovative cloth resistance bands, I'll drop a link for those in the description down below. Before you head over there, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so that you're updated on the new videos that come out every single week. That's all for now. See you next time.